You know that deep down you're craving for love and affection, but then when someone's trying to approach you, you feel terrified by the proximity, by intimacy, and you want to escape as soon as possible. But don't worry, it happened to you that someone used to call you emotionally unavailable or something like that, and you're not happy about this. You don't resonate with that because you know that in reality you're craving for love and affection as all the other human beings. You don't have to change yourself. You just have to rewire a part of you that has been set in that way when you were a child. This will help you to build healthier relationship with love, intimacy, and proximity, and in general with emotions. To understand what the avoidant attachment style actually is, we have to go back to John Bowlby's attachment theory, which he developed in the 50s. John Bowlby is a British analyst, and in his theory, he explains the various types of attachment that people build in the relationship that they will have with others. So, first of all, Bowlby believed that humans deeply rely on connection, and in the first years of our life, we rely on our caregivers. We ask for nutrition, protection, love, affection, and so on. And we also rely on them for survival and security. These caregivers respond to us in a certain type of way, and this certain way in which our caregivers, which normally are our parents, respond to us, build our attachment style. You can have an secure attachment style. This is when the child feels secure, relies on the attention given by the caregivers, learns trust, and he doesn't fear shortcomings. Then the child can develop an anxious attachment style when his needs and his desires are not met as they should be in the first year of his life. And that's why the child fears abandonment and then he tends to cling to the caregiver. And then in the adult life, this projects as a person who is super anxious, never secure about the affection that other people give him. And then we have the avoidant attachment style. Normally, a child who needs something, who has its own needs, but knows that these needs are usually not met, starts to be scared. He starts to fear the fact that he needs attention from the caregivers. He starts to fear closeness and the fact that he has to rely on someone else. And that's why he becomes dependent at such a young age. Children start to rely on themselves, and this projects in the future life as someone who's actually kind of afraid of relying on someone else and someone who is absolutely independent and relies on its own strength, but thinks that the relationships you have with others are something that makes you vulnerable. So they don't trust others, they don't trust the feelings that others show to them, and they think that they will be better on their own. Finally, we also have the disorganized type of attachment that characterizes a person who wants closeness, who's actually craving for attention and love, but at the same time is fleeing from that. So it is very important that in our life we learn how to heal all the, let's say, wrong type of attachments in order to obtain a secure type of attachment for ourselves. These patterns start during our childhood, but they are really important also in our adult life because these type of patterns really shape our relationship life as adults and they shape the way we connect with other people. Now we'll speak about the avoidant attachment style, and I'm really interested into this type of attachment style because I was absolutely avoidant, like 100% avoidant, and I really had to work on that a lot in order to be able to have an healthy relationship. And I also went to therapy to fix it. I recommend to everyone the therapy because it's such a powerful tool for yourself. So unavoidant in the adulthood is looking like someone who needs, first of all, a lot of space. Someone who is shutting down when things get too emotional and struggles to express their own needs and is really smothered by intimacy. Now, a disclaimer, if this sounds familiar to you, well, don't be scared because it is absolutely normal and most people have not the best attachment style. Most people are not in the secure attachment style. So remember that these attachment styles are like patterns that we build during our life, and they're not prisons, so we can most definitely rewire them. So after we have defined the problem, we understood our type of attachment style, then we have to understand a few things. First of all, we have to know that independence is absolutely a strength. It's something absolutely powerful for yourself, and it's good to be independent in life. And in order to have the best relationship with yourself and others, the thing that you should focus on is not to actually delete independence from your life. You should basically add very safe and powerful connection that you can build with others in your life. So it's we're not speaking about like removing the dependence from it. At the beginning, you think about healing like a big burden on yourself because healing is not always so easy. Actually, like most cases, it is not easy. But with time, you'll understand that this is so worth it because healing your attachment style will really rewire you deep down in your unconscious mind, and it will give you the best relationship possible. You should think of healing as training your emotional muscles. At the beginning, closeness, intimacy will feel like also request of intimacy from others, from someone that at the beginning you like, but at a certain point you start to be like, oh my God, he wants more from me, he wants to build a relationship, she wants to build a relationship with me, but you feel stuck in that feeling of, "Oh, I have to escape from this situation is really suffocating me." And trust me, I've been there, guys. So I was saying that at the beginning, closeness will feel heavy, but with time, it will feel softer and softer. That's the first type of shift of mentality that you should implement in your life to heal not just the attachment style, but in general, to be the best version of ourselves and to heal everything that we want to heal about ourselves. We have to start from self awareness. It is very important to reflect on our weaknesses, of course, also on our strengths. And we have to use and implement our strengths to help us go through our weaknesses and fix them, evaluate them. First of all, you have to notice the trigger. You really have to stop and understand when you feel the trigger, when you want to withdraw from a certain type of relationship. That's when you have to act. You have to ask yourself, well, what am I protecting from? Am I really disgusted by the feeling of proximity? Am I really intentional about the fact that I want to escape from this person, from this reality, from this experience, from this relationship? Or it is just that I am projecting the traumas that I've been facing as a child right now in my adulthood? You might think, well, as soon as I'll give my love and my affection to that person, I know that my desires will not be met. I know that they will not give the same back to me. That's not even a conscious thought. It's just that you've went through that when you were a child and when you needed care from your caregivers, from your parents. Now you really start to protect yourself also when it's not needed. There's someone who really shows you interest, affection, love, who wants to be with you genuinely. When you recognize that, try to give them a chance. Try to go deep down, face discomfort, because in life, in everything, not just in healing attachment styles, we really have to learn to face discomfort in order to move on and in order to fix and get over a lot of things that happen to us. You should also start to journal about the physical sensations that you feel when this attachment style of yours presents itself, and you might start journaling about your feelings during intimacy. When someone approaches you, you might start journaling about the fact that, for example, you might like a guy or a girl, and then suddenly when you understand that they also like you back and they show interest, it looks like that immediately for you the interest is gone and you're just in escape mode. You have to reframe the concept of vulnerability. I really consider vulnerability as a strength and as a luxury, because let me tell you that to be vulnerable, it is such a powerful thing. In my experience, being vulnerable has been a really, really tough thing to achieve, because I was never allowed as a child to actually be vulnerable with others, with myself, even with my own thoughts. Learning how to be vulnerable and actually implementing that in my life with the person with whom I have a close relationship. It was not easy at first. I had to go through discomfort. Even if I was not feeling safe while pushing myself, I decided to keep on doing that in order to avoid this partner that I had. I also started to implement some exercises with my therapist. Of course, I'm not a therapist, so I cannot tell you exactly what to do, but she made me do a few exercises that really helped me a lot. I recommend meditation and breathing control. First of all, meditation is such a powerful tool. There's a lot of different types of meditation. I love, for example, transcendental meditation, but there's a lot of them. And I think that meditation, if done properly, really helps you find a balance, really helps you enter your most calm self and gives you power over your thoughts. And also, I think that controlled breathing is something that people never speak about, but it's so, so powerful. For example, when something happens around me that should trigger me and make me feel unsafe and uncomfortable, instead of getting angry, you will never see me angry in real life. Instead of getting angry, I start to my breathe. Something that I've noticed is that when you take very cold baths, when you get into very cold water, breathing helps a lot because your body feels unsafe. I'm speaking about a physical state of unsafeness, but the same thing can be said about mental state of unsafeness. Your breathing really goes much faster and your heartbeat increases a lot. So, something that you can do in order to get back to the calmest version of you is to actually start controlling your breathing. Start to breathe slowly and do like very, very deep breaths. And this is something that really helped me a lot in my experience. There's a lot of healing actions that you can implement in your daily life to start rewiring your attachment style. Therapy is the first one, not just for healing this type of attachment style, I think for most things in life, actually. And it really helps you build a very stable personality that remains unshaken in the various experiences of life. Therapy and psychological coaching are really helpful tools, but I think also that it is very important to act, but it is also important to start small. For example, you are extremely scared of being vulnerable. Start small, start opening up, start trusting someone just a little bit. You don't have to open up yourself totally and tell someone the whole story of your life and what makes you feel weak, let's say, what makes you feel insecure, for example, all in the same conversation. You could start by just opening up a little bit and starting small in general. It's already very powerful because you're starting. Pause when you feel like escaping. You have to sit with the urge of escaping. When you feel the trigger, you have to stop, recognize it, because recognizing a problem is the first step towards its solution. And really examine yourself and really ask yourself, how is this thing making me feel and how can I fix that? You should start this type of reprogramming with secure people. It is very nice to have a friend or look for partners who have a secure attachment style, because seeing how another person is handling relationship and seeing how they can be, for example, safe in their relationship, don't fear abandonment in their relationship, they are not hyper independent as a result of this. This makes you feel safer in the possibility of opening up with another person. And you see that it is not bad to actually, let's say, break this wall of avoidance, and that proximity is a strength and a richness, not something to flee from. I hope that you are now excited about this reframe that you want to implement into your life. And you really have to remember the most important thing is that independence that you build for yourself with sacrifices. I'm sure about it. This independence that you really care about should not be removed from your life. You should just add connection and the possibility of opening up with someone else and the possibility of actually being vulnerable and affectionate to someone else and caring about others to the independence that you already have. That way, you'll build your most powerful self. When you learn the power of self connection, you'll start seeing the world with different eyes. I really have been through this. I used to have such a big problem with relationships. When a guy first approached me, I was absolutely chill with that, and everything was fine with me. But then, as soon as I started to feel that he wanted to in more proximity with me, that he started to show feelings, I started to feel so bad, like physically bad, something that used to happen to me. I used to feel like if someone was grabbing me from my neck, and it was like if I couldn't breathe. It was very difficult to breathe, and that's why my therapist really helped me heal and fix this, because I know that I couldn't resolve this all by myself. I know these patterns were a result of my previous life experiences, and I'm speaking about life experiences that I've been through when I was a child. And it is so beautiful because then you'll understand that every time you'll lean in, you'll trust someone, you'll build a connection instead of escaping and fleeing away. You like rewriting the nervous story of love for yourself. You're like literally rewriting your nervous system story about love and affection and relationships and trust. People say that we cannot change our past, we cannot do anything about it, but I think we're absolutely capable of reshaping it. If you're watching this video, I know you already want to fix this problem that you have, that you are already working on yourself, and this is so nice from you. It already shows that you're very interested into self growth, and you're already 100 steps forward than someone who is neglecting their weaknesses, neglecting their problems, and saying, I'll fix that. I'm not interested. I'll just get on with my life. Do me this favor, do it for yourself, and you'll see the beauty and the love and the happiness that relationship will bring to your life. Guys, this is something that I really learned because I used to struggle a lot with this. I think that I completely rewired my brain, and now today I have what I consider as a secure attachment style. This is like a dream for me. After healing this attachment style, I got to know, after just a few months, my boyfriend, and I know that if I still was not healed, I would have not attracted him. I would have not manifested him in my life, and most of all, I would have not let him in my life. I'm really so happy that I was able to fix this, to work on it. I was not fearing change, I was not fearing growth, and I was actually aiming for that. It is so nice to grow and heal and see how you become a completely new person as life goes on, and how deeper you can go. Like, I'm speaking emotionally deeper and psychologically deeper into yourself. It is nice to discover the value that you can bring to your own life, to the life of others through love and relationship. I would like to know from you guys what vulnerability means for you. I know that the meaning of vulnerability might be different from person to person, so I'm really interested. Let me know that in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to like this video, and let me know what would you like to see more on this channel. And I see you guys in the next video. Bye!